Noche Pereira set to make UFC history as the youngest woman ever at Noche UFC. Welcome to Fights, the ultimate home of UFC breaking news, shocking updates, and every story that sets the MMA universe on fire. Stay tuned because here, the real action begins. Alice Pereira is on the brink of making UFC history. At just 19 years old, the rising star from Brazil will step into the octagon for the first time at Noche UFC in San Antonio, Texas, becoming the youngest woman ever to compete in the world's premier MMA organization. For Pereira, the journey to this moment has been filled with ambition, sacrifice, and relentless determination. On Christmas Eve 2024, just 4 days after celebrating her 19th birthday, Pereira's dream came true when UFC CEO Dana White himself announced that the company had signed her. It was a rare moment. UFC's top executive doesn't often personally reveal signings, especially for a 5-0 prospect from Brazil with only a handful of professional fights. But Pereira was different. Her name, her drive, and her rising reputation as a golden girl of the sport made her impossible to ignore. From that day forward, the MMA world had a new phenom to watch. For Pereira, the moment was surreal. She recalls UFC matchmaker Mick Maynard FaceTiming her to make the offer while she wore a shirt with her own name on it. The symbolism wasn't lost on her. Still to this day, when I look back at it, we're still in shock with everything that happened, but with that feeling of joy that we were able to do what we had planned, Pereira explained. Since my debut, every fight we did, every Instagram post I made, every mention, it was all for a reason. From the start, when I said what I wanted, we had a plan set. Pereira's road to the UFC wasn't just talent, it was strategy. After each MMA win, she urged fans to tag Maynard on social media, a small but powerful way of making sure her name never left the UFC's radar. That persistence paid off, and now she's stepping into the spotlight in a way few teenagers ever have. I had that ambition from the start, the dream of being the youngest girl in the UFC, Pereira said. From the moment I realized the UFC wasn't such a distant dream, I started to get ambitious. I set out goals, and one of the goals was to be the youngest girl in the UFC. The actual goal was to be there by 18. It happened 4 days later, but it's all right. It's great the way it happened. It felt great that I had achieved this, that my prediction became true. Her story is even more remarkable considering where it all began. Pereira started training as a young kid in Brazil, sneaking into the gym and putting in hours of work 7 days a week without her mother's permission. Her mom hoped she would pursue a more traditional career path, but Pereira's dream of fighting burned too brightly to be ignored. That stubbornness, that refusal to let go of her vision, is what carried her from local gyms in Brazil to the UFC octagon. Now 6-0 as a professional with 4 knockouts and 1 submission, Pereira has already shown she possesses finishing power and versatility, but perhaps more impressive than her skills is her mindset. Many fighters crumble under the pressure of a UFC debut, especially when all eyes are on them. Pereira, however, insists she's calm. I take a shower before going to bed and I'm thinking, man, I'm too calm. I don't know if that's good or bad, Pereira said with a laugh. The word of the moment is this, calm. When I think about the fight, I'm calm. When I think about situations that can happen in the fight, bad situations that can happen, I'm calm. I don't know if that's good, but I'm too relaxed for this fight. I'm so confident in the result, confident that I'll be able to put on a good fight to be proud of. Her debut comes 9 months after signing with the UFC, and her opponent is veteran Montserrat Rendon. At 36, Rendon is nearly Pereira's age and has 2 UFC fights under her belt, with a win over Tamires Vidal, followed by a loss to Daria Jeleznikova in March 2024. Rendon is known for her forward pressure and willingness to grapple, but Pereira sees that as the perfect opportunity to showcase her striking skills. Rendon walks forward, and when you push her, she tries to grapple, and we know she will try that. We think that's what's going to happen because I like to impose my game on the feet, and I know it's going to be better than hers. It's not a good matchup for her, but I'm ready to get out of the clinch or work on the clinch if I feel like it too. For Pereira, this isn't just a fight. It's the introduction of a new star to the global MMA audience. Her youth, her undefeated record, and her bold confidence have already made her a figure of intrigue. Add to that her history-making debut, and it's no wonder fans are buzzing about what the future holds for her. The pressure of becoming the youngest woman to ever compete in the UFC is immense, but Pereira has embraced it. She believes this is exactly what she was meant to do, and every step of her journey has prepared her for this night. From sneaking into gyms as a child to forcing the UFC to notice her with relentless ambition, she has proven that she doesn't just dream, she executes. Noche UFC is shaping up to be a memorable card, but no storyline is more compelling than that of Alice Pereira. As she walks into the octagon to face Rendon, she carries with her the pride of Brazil, the weight of expectation, and the unshakable belief that this is only the beginning of her legacy. Win or lose, history will be made when she makes that walk, but Pereira isn't interested in just being a footnote. She's aiming to dominate, to shine, and to prove that her rise is no accident. The Golden Girl is ready, the world is watching, and on Saturday night, Alice Pereira will finally live the dream she has chased since childhood. Thanks for watching Fights, your front row seat to every knockout, comeback, and breaking UFC moment. Like, share, and subscribe to never miss the next big fight.